You think you just casually dating, keeping it light, having fun, but that person sitting across from you? They spent 3 years in therapy learning to trust again, 2 years single doing healing work, months building boundaries. And you're about to undo all of it because you weren't looking for anything serious. Your games aren't harmless. You're re-traumatizing someone. Here's the damage you don't see and why you need to be honest about what you can offer or stay away. First, understand what healing actually costs. The person you're casually seeing did years of therapy processing trauma, learning their patterns and triggers, building self-worth from scratch, setting boundaries, which is an incredibly painful process, cutting off toxic people, sitting with loneliness instead of settling, reading, journaling, growing, facing their pain instead of running from it. Research shows that childhood attachment trauma affects how people relate to others throughout their lives. These people spent years repairing what was broken. The cost was real. Money because therapy isn't cheap. Time measured in years of their life. Relationships they had to let go. Comfort because facing pain is excruciating. Social life sacrificed choosing healing over dating. Energy because emotional work is exhausting. What they gained? Self-awareness, healthy boundaries, clear standards, emotional regulation, trust in their judgment, readiness for real partnership. And here's what nobody talks about. After betrayal, trying again is brave. After abuse, trusting again is heroic. After heartbreak, opening up again costs everything. They're not naive, they're courageous. Studies on attachment show that people with insecure attachment from childhood trauma struggle to trust that relationships are safe. When they choose to be vulnerable again, that's an act of extraordinary courage. Now here's what you're actually doing to them. You're reactivating their wounds. When you say you're interested, then pull away, you trigger abandonment wounds. When you're inconsistent, you activate anxious attachment patterns. When you lie about intentions, you destroy trust again. When you're hot and cold, chaos becomes familiar trauma. When you disappear without explanation, you confirm their belief that they're not worth staying for. The impact is devastating. All their therapy gets undone. Boundaries they built get crossed. Self-worth gets questioned again. Trust gets shattered again. Progress gets erased. Research on attachment trauma reveals that when early wounds are reactivated in adult relationships, people experience the same emotional flooding and fear they felt as children. You're not just disappointing them. You're throwing them back into childhood trauma. You're wasting their prime years. They have limited time, biological clocks, life goals. Months with you equal months not finding the right person. Let's see where this goes is theft of their time. Every month you're uncertain is a month they could be building real partnership. Time is the one thing they can't get back. And you're stealing it while you figure yourself out. You're confirming their worst fears. Their fear is, maybe I'm unlovable. Your actions say, I'm not ready for a relationship with you. Their conclusion? I was right to fear opening up. Their fear is, maybe healthy people don't exist. Your actions? Hot and cold, breadcrumbing, games. Their conclusion? I healed for nothing. Everyone's toxic. Studies show that repeated relationship trauma creates lasting changes in how people approach intimacy. You're making them worse, not better. You're creating trauma responses. After you, they'll be more guarded, protective but sad. They'll question everyone. They'll close off because emotional safety is gone. They'll take longer to trust if they ever trust again. They might give up entirely. You didn't just date casually. You traumatized someone who already survived trauma once. Here's why this keeps happening. Unavailable people target healed people. Reason 1, healed people are safe. They communicate clearly. They won't blow up your phone. They have boundaries. They're emotionally regulated. Perfect for someone who wants low-drama casualness without the mess. Reason 2, healed people are high quality. They've done the work, which is rare. They're self-aware, they're stable. Emotionally unavailable people want them but can't match them. So they take what they can get while giving nothing real in return. Reason 3, healed people give second chances. They believe in growth because they grew. They see potential because they actualized theirs. They're patient because they know healing is hard. Research confirms this gets exploited. People with anxious attachment often tolerate poor treatment longer, hoping their partner will change. Reason 4, society normalizes this. Keep it casual gets praised. Commitment gets mocked as too serious. Not ready is an accepted excuse. Emotional unavailability gets romanticized. Nobody tells unavailable people you're the problem. It just didn't work out becomes the narrative for both sides. Reality? One person was ready, one wasn't. The ready person pays the price. So what should happen instead? If you're emotionally unavailable, be honest from day one. Say, I'm not in a place to offer what you deserve. Date people equally unavailable. Do your own healing work before dating. Take responsibility for your capacity. Let them go if they want more. Work on yourself. Therapy, time alone, growth. Don't lead people on. Don't say, let's see where this goes for months. Don't use, I wasn't looking for serious as an excuse after 6 months. The ethical standard is this. I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm working on myself. You deserve someone who can show up fully. That's not me right now. I hope you find them. That's the baseline of decency. If you're the healed person, protect your progress. Vet for emotional availability early. Ask, what are you looking for on the first date? Watch behavior, not words. Leave at first sign of unavailability. Don't date potential, date reality. Trust your healing. You're not wrong. They're not ready. Don't sacrifice your peace for someone's maybe. Red flags of emotional unavailability. I'm not looking for anything serious. Let's just see where this goes. Hot and cold behavior. Avoids defining the relationship. Can't commit to future plans. Still hung up on their ex. Won't introduce you to friends or family. Breadcrumbing communication. Research shows these patterns stem from fear of vulnerability and intimacy, often rooted in past trauma or insecure attachment. The boundary you need. I did too much work to accept crumbs. If you're not sure, I'm out. Studies on self-esteem show that protecting your progress after healing requires firm boundaries. Don't compromise what you built for someone who won't build with you. Here's the brutal truth. To the emotionally unavailable person, you're not just having fun, you're hurting people. That person you're casually seeing, they're not casual. They did years of work to be ready for real love, and you're treating their courage like it's disposable. Your uncertainty isn't cute. Your I'm not ready isn't an excuse. Your hot and cold isn't mysterious. It's trauma to someone who already survived trauma once. Be honest, be gone if you can't show up, because your games are someone else's therapy sessions, and that's not okay. Research on emotional unavailability confirms it often stems from fear of vulnerability or past trauma. That doesn't make it acceptable to inflict that pain on others. Get help. Do your work. Don't date until you're ready. To the healed person, you did the work. You're ready. You're brave. But readiness doesn't protect you from unavailable people. Healing doesn't make you immune to hurt. You have to screen for readiness. You have to leave when they show you they're not serious. You have to protect your progress. You survived too much to settle for breadcrumbs now. You healed too hard to accept half-hearted effort. You deserve someone who matches your energy, who meets your courage with their own, who honors the work you've done by doing their own. Don't date people who aren't ready. They're not your project. They're your setback. Wait for someone who is. Studies tracking relationship outcomes show that people who maintain boundaries after healing have better long-term satisfaction. Your standards aren't too high. They're protecting what you built. If you're emotionally unavailable, do everyone a favor. Fix yourself before you date. Don't inflict your brokenness on people who fought to be whole. Research confirms that attachment styles can change with intentional work, but that work has to happen before you enter someone else's life. And if you're healed, protect yourself. Screen harder, leave faster. Don't give unavailable people access to your heart. You work too hard to let someone undo it all because they weren't looking for anything serious. Your healing matters. Your boundaries matter. Your time matters. Drop a comment. Have you been re-traumatized by someone who wasn't ready? Or have you been the person doing the damage and finally see it? Let me know. And hit subscribe because we're diving deeper into protecting yourself from people who can't meet you where you are.